Okay, so how are you?
Good, good, Nigel.
Good, good.
Um,
I didn't catch your name.
I'm Humberto. That's with an H. It's a Latin name.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about yourself and where you are in the world.
Well, I'm 29 years old. I'm in Panama City, Latin America. You've heard the Panama Canal, I can imagine. And I joined the real world about 390 days or something. I have a background. I am a physician. I am a doctor. So I finished med school in 2022,
Uh huh.
and then I went into the workforce, into the hospital. The hospital world's basically the same as any other corporate world. So I had a contract for 2 years in the in a hospital here in my town, which I had to do in order to get my license. I finished that, got my license. Midway through my 2 year contract, I knew I had to go get out. I've been a fan of Tate for like the past maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And in 2024, there was a point in time they were talking about TRW. I've already heard about Hustlers University.
Yeah.
And then I just said, F it, man. Just join and go in on my thing because I wasn't born to be someone else's um beat bitch and at work. I'm sorry for the expression. You get tossed
Someone else
around.
is-
You get tossed around
someone-
like
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you get tossed around pretty hard at work, and I wanted to regurgitate whenever I wasn't able to speak up to my boss because I knew I couldn't speak up or I knew. So I was like, yeah, that was kind of what the
That's not where you got.
backstory that started the
So
fire.
how long did you spend studying for to be a physician? Because that's quite an
Um,
important job.
yeah, I studied 7 years. 7 years.
Mm. Wow. So did you not think that you wanted to maybe start your own practice?
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's kind of a trap. You get trapped in the matrix when you do your own practice, and the system is built out in a way that it's very difficult to actually make good money. There's almost like a cap.
mm,
I have a safety net career, and for me as a physician to say up until this point to do this pivot and do this type of transition from the people around me, it was a very unpopular decision within my family. Everybody was like, oh, right now you're going to make better money, you're going to start to do this, do that, you should do this, do that. When I joined the real world, Nigel, there was a point in my life like everybody around me seemed to have the answers for me.
yeah, I
So
can
one
imagine.
of the things I learned about Tate and about Tate really is that don't take advice from people that don't have what you want. So these all these normal people paying their mortgages, paying their stuff, being trapped in matrix, trying to give me advice on what to do. So I just put my head down, focused on my thing, and just started grinding. But at the beginning, it's easy to have good thoughts when you're in a good mental place. But when everybody's telling you don't do this, when you're by yourself, when there's actually no results, when there's actually nobody clapping for you, just
Yeah,
yourself and your belief in God, bro, it's tough, but you just gotta push through the fire.
yeah. I mean, that's super interesting because most people would study something different within like university or college or whatever. And it's super interesting to hear that you're a physician and you've actually come from that position into the real world. So, what campus did you go into, first of all, into the real
First
world?
of all, I went into the social media client acquisition campus,
Yeah.
but what the campus that when I really started, what really nailed it down for me was the content creation plus AI campus. I
Interesting.
would say that the teachings of social media client acquisition were very valuable for me to land my first couple clients. but the content creation plus AI campus, I would say, was my first real grind campus.
Okay, interesting. So, when, sorry, just remind me again how long you've been in the real world?
1 year and a half, 1 year more or less.
1 year, yeah.
Yeah,
300, you put it in days,
390 days. Yeah,
390 yeah, you put it in. I was like, how long is that? Oh, 365 days in a year. Okay, cool. A year and a month or something like that. Okay, cool.
yeah.
So, when you first went into there, when did you actually start seeing a change? Wow, when did you actually make your first dollar? Let's just say that.
I had made my first dollar under a month. So what I would do was, Professor Moneybags method kind of was like, reach out to someone then tell them you learned this new skill and you're gonna do one video for free, and then if they like it, they're just we're just gonna make a deal. So that's what
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Um, and content creation was my first business model, for you to say. And as of November, December from last year, I seeing all the AI news and having a deeper understanding on I
Mm.
went on in full on for the AI campus. So right now, that's my main campus, the AI automation campus.
I mean, that's crazy because you've gone from being a physician to content creation AI campus.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you resonated to? How did you like feel from coming from the place that you came to now? What gave you that? What drew you towards it?
To be honest, just freedom, being able to have an expression, being able to talk out loud, being able to have my opinions. When I was in the hospitals, sometimes we didn't have the adequate equipment to give healthcare to the people, and
Yeah,
I would go on my stories on Instagram, and I was sometimes like post like, how do you want me to work if I don't have this and that. It was like, and people told me, don't put that in the stories, they're gonna kick you out, don't tell the people we don't have this. And I was like, the government's bashing the people, and we're doing nothing, and we're being like, that's, how do you say, when you're helping someone else do something wrong. So that's what gave me the fire to just get out of the workforce and have my own thing and have my own opinion. And I was able to maybe mix them both, because I
yeah,
started content creation for healthcare
got
industries.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And I made an agency for the healthcare industry. And right now, our main focus is a product that we branded Lily AI, which is an AI, conversational AI agent for secretaries and for healthcare places. So I
Yeah,
was able to mix both
that's
of
good, man.
them, and it helps me a lot in the sales process, because I can talk to them in a way that maybe another salesperson cannot understand what they do.
Yeah, yeah, because you kind of understand the background of it, and you understand, what their needs are, what you faced when you was
Yes,
going through that, so you kind of understand the underlining. You kind of understand everything from there. Okay, so you said you made your first money within a month, in the first couple
yes,
of weeks.
within a month. And
How much?
it was interesting, because I went from a couple deals that were under $500, and then there was this one company that they provide dialysis services. Basically, when your kidneys die out, you need
Yeah,
to plug into a machine, and they wanted a software, a custom software. And I was like, I don't know nothing about software, but guess what? I am a TRW student. I am a hustler. I've also have had lessons from the Business Mastery Campus. The Top G tutorials, actual gold. I would recommend everybody that's in the real world that hasn't seen the Top G tutorial. You need to see the Top G tutorial. You need to see all the lessons. Speed is number one.
yeah,
Money is number two. You need to
yeah,
watch that. It's absolute mandatory, in my opinion, because you need to have it's an all around thing. It's not only theory. You need to check in your body. I do martial arts. I do kickboxing. You need to take care of yourself. You need to show up to a place. You need to be confident. You need to speak, mean what you say, and people will
Yeah.
listen. People will listen. I didn't know anything about software, and I went from zero to landing a 6,500, $6,000, $500 deal of a custom software. I have a developer friend. What Tate says that friends are basically like free employees.
Yeah.
I have one of my best friends that's a software engineer, and they reached out and we made the deal happen, and I got close to half of it. So in my mind, when I was able to just like this on a sale make around $3,000, something clicked for me. I was like, I have to work 80-hour weeks to earn half of that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Sales is crazy.
That's what I was gonna say. How does earning the money, and is that sorry, before I go into the other question, but is that a consistent income now? Is it 3,000 consistently every single month, or has it gone up, or does it go up and down? How does that work?
Well, for that specific deal, that was a single deal. That was the first version of the software, but
Hmm.
that project opened up doors for other prospects. So
Yeah.
another thing is that I'm going for, even though I am a basically a solopreneur with, well, or I'm an entrepreneur with me and my friends, I don't care, and I go for the biggest companies there are in my country. I have a dual. I like all the internet stuff, but I also like to have a local approach because
Yeah.
I have
Good.
a I have a plan in mind,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go to the US to the big leagues to provide my services, but I wanted to start here locally, and I am reaching out to the biggest enterprises here.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention specific names of
You don't need
companies
to.
that you may know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we're I'm talking with them. You know this. There's a the consulting part of it when we're gonna do complex AI automation for businesses. It takes from like 5 to 7 meetings to for you to actually tailor down your offer,
Yeah.
because but right now I'm cooking up some pretty interesting deals, and the second half of this year is looking to be pretty amazing. So far, I've done around 20K since I joined.
Which is nice.
The most of the biggest wins have come this year from the AI automation campus, the website creation. The websites, it's basically printing money. You can build out a website in less than a day and charge a grand for it. It's
That's
crazy.
amazing. That's super amazing. So, how do you think your kind of life has changed from since leaving the job role that you have as a physician into now where you are now? How long's that been? How long's
Um,
that transition been?
I
1 year?
quit my job in December last year. So basically, whole 2025, I've been on this full time on my
Yeah.
business from the real world, and I would say something, Nigel. I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm doing something actually for myself.
Yeah.
I wake up every morning excited,
Hmm.
and I will not say I'm always motivated because I'm not. One of the biggest things I've learned is doing the work doesn't matter even how you feel, and just grinding it out.
See,
And you know, I am now living a life that my younger self as a kid would be proud of, and not even so in the what I have now monetarily or in my
yeah,
bank account, but it's what I've been able to visualize in my mind, because the power of
yeah,
visualization. And I see a lot of students that are maybe not getting the results they want. I
mm,
can guarantee it's because of your mindset. The
yeah,
type of
100%.
questions you ask to other people give away
Yeah,
that you're not a professional,
yeah,
because there's a lot of questions that you can answer yourself. You know what you have to do. You know you need to
100%.
wake up every day. You need to work out. You know.
100%, 100%. No, I totally agree with that. You said a couple of things before, but about thinking, and I keep on forgetting because you're talking and I'm listening, and I forget the question that I'm actually going to ask you. Um, So let me go on to something else, and it might just drop. So, what's been would you say is the hardest part about your journey so far? What's been the hardest thing that you've had to overcome? Ah, that's what I was going to say. Motivation. You say you're not motivated every single day. Before I go into the other question, but you said you're not motivated every single day. But motivation comes and goes.
Yeah.
Discipline always.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're disciplined enough to stay on job, what you have to do is what you have to do, regardless of whether you wake up smiling, regardless you wake up with a frown on your face, you still know you've got to do that. So that's the discipline. So motivation comes and goes, always comes and goes. Oh, I'm motivated to do this, but then I'm already motivated to do it. I can't really be bothered. No, you're disciplined enough to actually say, okay, cool. This still needs to be done, regardless of how I feel, regardless of I don't know, my girl giving me grief in the morning, or someone crashing into my car or whatever, blah blah. I still got to do what I've got to do. So that's the discipline end of it. So
Yes.
yeah,
That's
going
true.
back on, that's what I wanted to say to you before. And it just
That's true. And you know what? Depending, I've learned that relying on motivation, it's just not gonna get you anywhere.
no, it's
I've
not.
actually started to see results just by loving the fight. Just like Tate says, if you just want the results, I just want to fight. Like I just want to get dirty. I want to
Fuck
get
it.
kicked in the
Yeah,
face.
yeah,
Right now,
hundred
I'm
percent.
having some kind of like hassles with clients, and there's a client that's trying to pay less for what we're charging, and it's like a business is a mental war. It's a mental warfare. It's pure psychology. I
Yeah,
know I'm not the same person I was when I started, and I in 1 year from now I'm sure I won't be the same
you're gonna be
person
a
I
different
am
person.
now.
Absolutely.
But the mental part of it, you need to be, people overlook having a physical presence. And I always tell to my friends, I don't know if you've where you from, people play paddle. Have you heard about paddle or something? Like the thing with the rackets.
Ping pong.
It's
Yeah, yeah. Ping pong or
it's
tennis or whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
it's nothing against it, maybe, but everybody does it, and it's kind of soft. I feel like we live in a soft society. Men have gone soft, and
it's
you need to
it's
be around.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's been built that way, but you have some warriors that will just keep their head above water and understand this and realize this and not succumb to being put in that box and not being want to be a part of it. I'm not going to be soft. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be a man's man. I'm going to be a real man, and this is how it is. And not many people like that, and not many industries like that. Many industries want you to be just their little pawn, so they can throw you here and throw you there and do whatever they want to do with you. So it's very very good to kind of rise above that. Also, what I also wanted to say was that my last person that I spoke to just previously, he had a problem with his one of the companies not wanting to pay him the money that he's actually initially said. He didn't develop a contract, and now obviously he's learned that everything that he goes into, the whole agreement thing is contractual based. So that would safeguard you. I don't know if you're doing exactly the same thing, but that will safeguard you. So if anybody tells you, well, I don't want to pay this, but hold on, you sign this contract, so you're gonna have to. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? So that will safeguard you moving forward. If you
yeah,
haven't got that in place at the moment, you can take a verbal agreement, yes. You can take a handshake, yes, depending on who they are and how long you've known them. But you would generally find that corporates always trying to find a loophole. Contractually, if you have a contract in place, then there is no loophole because you just signed this contract, and regardless of whatever you know
yeah,
they say, you can always refer back to it. Well, actually, you signed this contract, so that's what you're paying me. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? If it was,
We made a contract, but we made the mistake that we were not specific enough, because we made a software for them which is running really good. It's a very very big complex software because it's for the healthcare industry, so it needs to have a lot of security.
mm,
But the thing is that maybe the software isn't as complex as they might imagined. So right
mhm,
now they're trying to like 6 months after giving them the thing, they're trying to the as you say, they're trying to find a loophole. Corporates always try to find loopholes, but it's all good. I will surf the wave, and it'll be fine. And
Yeah,
I'm not gonna I'm not looking to break the relationship. I will
yeah,
just find common ground.
common
Professor
ground.
Arnold has also a lot of good negotiation tactics, I would
There
say.
you go, and you can always refer back to that as well. I suppose that's something that you learn along the way, because obviously if you're a year into this, so you know those are the things you kind of learn along the way, and how you can kind of minimize that kind of back and forth
Yeah.
with corporates, because corporates will probably always want to try and find a little loophole where they can pay a little bit less or whatever, blah blah blah. So I suppose that is something that you can specify within your next contract. That's something that you learn along the way, and everything's a learning curve, right?
Yes.
Everything's a learning curve. So that's what you would say was, well, did I go back and did you answer that question? What was the hardest part about you?
The hardest part was actually battling with my own mind and being consistent day in day out, and then you just suddenly look back, and it's like a muscle. Your brain is like a muscle. You now I don't know how to stop. I genuinely don't know how to slow down. I don't want to. I have constant anxiety. I live anxious under stress, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love every single part of it.
Yeah, that's the best way to be. That's the best way to be. You've always got something to do. No matter what happens, you've always got something to do. So that for me, that's like, do you know what I mean? So what would you say was the biggest turning point of this journey so far?
Biggest turning point was it was after I got dumped by my ex-girlfriend, and I was in a bad place mentally. One of my family members was I had a very close relative that was going through some really tough times, and there was a point in my life I was back against the wall, and I was there was all this bad things happening in my life, and instead of like I found myself one day after she broke up with me, I found myself laying in the bed for 2 hours, and I felt so pathetically about myself for spending 2 hours on my bed sad. And I promised to myself never again. And from that day, that was like 7 months ago,
Mm.
I have just been as focused as ever, and I use that pain and direct it towards my work, because bad things will always happen. Bad things will always happen.
100%.
You need to
100%.
deal with it. Um, yeah, yeah. And girls come and go. She doesn't want if she doesn't want to stay with me for now, then, and she doesn't want to enjoy the fruits of my labor in the future. That's all right. Women want everything right away. They can't delay gratification for anything.
Correct.
But
Correct. And at the end of the day, like she's been a chapter in your life, and for me that's a realization as to what relationships generally sometimes can be about. If they don't get what they want now, then they would want to seek it somewhere else. Fine, no problem. Make sure she realizes what she's missed out on.
yeah,
100% make sure she realizes what she's missed out on. When she comes calling back, she might do, she might not do. Who cares? Yeah. Make sure that when she comes back, if she comes back,
yes.
there's a big no-no. You miss your chance.
It will be a big no no for sure.
Yeah, train's gone. You ain't getting that train again. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Train's gone, and you're actually progressing. You're elevating yourself. The best way to get over someone is to elevate yourself to basically the highest thing. So then, therefore, it gets forgotten about. You don't even think about what happened in the past, and it's in the past at the end of the day. And for me, that's a learning curve. It's an understanding learning curve, and we all go through them. Trust me, we all go through them. Okay, we all go through them, and we all go through that girl that doesn't want to respect you, that girl that wants to dump you because you might be spending too much time at work, or you might not be able to buy her the bag that she wants, or whatever it may be. Yeah,
Yeah.
but she's not there to support you.
Yeah.
long and
It,
short of it.
it was the beginning of the year, and I had this. I feel like every entrepreneur has to go through that point in time where they have a 9 to 5 and they're also being in a dedicating time to their business, because this is
Yeah,
going to be one of the hardest periods.
yeah,
And I would say I saw that I wasn't gonna be able to make that leap or take my business to the next level
yeah,
until I went all in on this.
yeah.
So you have to go all in, and you have to bet on yourself. And what I was gonna say is that at the beginning of the year I was around 1,500 $1,000, yeah, 1,500 a month, so
Mm,
more or less consistently. And I remember telling her that I was gonna be around that I had to be around at least 3K a month by the end of the year. And we're
mm,
at the middle of the year, and not only I'm at 3K a month, but I know that from now till December I'll surpass that. But her expression I gave her when I told her I was gonna be able to do 3K in a month, seeing that she didn't
yeah,
believe it
yeah.
clicked.
There
and
was
and
no
I,
support mechanism there, bro. There was no actual support mechanism. There was no belief in you. So
yeah,
for me, she didn't respect the fact that you're grinding hard. At the end of the day, you're grinding hard. Okay, she can nothing but respect your grind, and she doesn't respect your grind and doesn't support your grind. Yeah,
yeah,
okay, cool. I'm gonna. My man says he's gonna be at 3K a month by X amount of time. Okay, cool. I'm gonna support that, and I'm gonna try and help him to get there.
yeah.
I'm trying to
they,
help
they
him to get do everything in my power
they want to see
to make sure.
movies. They wanna go out. They wanna have dinners. I'm like, movie. I don't want to go to movies. I don't.
No, 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 no,
I'm
no,
trying to
no.
fight. I'm trying to fight.
He wants to distract you from your goal, bro. He wants to distract you from your goal. But then
Yeah,
at the end of the day, when you don't hit your goal because you've been going to movies, laying in bed on a Sunday afternoon, watching movies, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? She's like, oh, where are you? What's going on? Da, 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 da. Do you know what I mean? Forget about that.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
moving on.
Anyway, let's move on.
Moving on from there. Um, what would you say was? I think we might have covered it, but I just want to just kind of clarify a couple of things. What would you
Yeah,
say was your biggest breakthrough?
big break
Biggest,
for me was the when the AI campus was releasing the latest modules from
yeah.
the website creation, the VO3s, the latest releases. I think the AI campus clicked for me because I was able to mix my real world expertise with the teachings of the real world and bring an offer to a niche that needs it a lot. That's when it clicked for me.
Mm. I think what you're doing, how you've used your physician role into content creating for that, I think that's absolutely a brilliant move. I think it's a fantastic move. I think what you're doing there is absolutely superb. And I think
Thank you,
like,
thank you.
I don't know anybody that's actually done that. I've not spoken to anybody that's come from that industry and
Yeah.
used that industry as another way on how to number one, a make money, but you're probably making awareness to a lot of people as well. So, do you know what
Yes.
I mean? That is absolutely superb. So,
Thank you. And I would like to add to that that in regards to AI, there's a lot of ethical concerns in for me as a physician in the AI implementation in the real world. We need to be very careful moving forward with the AI implementation in some industries like healthcare or psychology, because AI will give you your way a lot of times, and it can be very misleading. So, for example, let's say you have a symptom, and you ask ChatGPT, it could be unsafe, because when you go to a physician, he's not gonna ask you just simply one question. He's gonna look to you. He's looking at to a person as a whole. So the
Mm,
AI, the LLM's just gonna receive this input, and it's actually kind of dangerous for what's coming.
mm,
The AI space can get pretty scary. But what I know is that the people that capitalize on this opportunity, I see it as Bitcoin and the internet. I was a little kid. and I couldn't capitalize on it. Was I was in basically in college, in high school,
Hmm.
but I think this is my wave. The AI wave is my wave.
Yeah,
I made the decision late 2024. I am going full in on AI. I even changed my IG name to Dr. Beto slash AI. And
yeah,
people now, they want to reach out to me. They always ask me questions.
that's
So
good.
now that I've got some more success in my personal life and in my agency, you
Mm.
start hearing claps. But back
Yeah,
then, when I needed the claps, there was nothing. So I think that's part of the journey that I love that
that's
it
fun.
was that way.
Yeah,
But you have to push through that. You need to break through that initial
it's
barrier.
100%. That's the way, and that's the way it goes. How do your parents feel about your transition now
Well,
from?
now they're happier because they see that I actually have a plan. And I was like, Mom, I was telling you, I have a plan. I have a plan.
Yeah,
So there's a story, a quick story I want to tell about confidence and how people mistake it with arrogance. Because, for example, I would say confidence is when I first sold my first website for $750. I didn't know how to make a website, but I knew there was a module for the website creation. So I actually sold the website before actually learning how to do the fulfillment of the website. But you
yeah,
need to have confidence in yourself that you're going to look to a client in their eyes and that you're going to tell them, I'm going to get this done
yeah,
one
yeah,
way or another, but I will get it done. Don't
yeah,
you worry. And you go and you just do it.
yeah, yeah. And that's the difference between confidence and arrogance. 100%, 100%. So, what's your plan on increasing your clients? Because you was talking about a plan earlier on.
Yes, yes.
So,
My plan right
what's
now, we
your
already
plan?
bought the domain. We're building out the app, a web app, a landing page
Yeah.
to handle clients. We made Lily AI, which is a conversational AI agent. We already have 6 clients. Pre-launch, our goal was to have 5 clients. We already have 6. We're looking
Good.
forward to maybe 10 to 15 clients before the launch because having that validation from the market is actually very important. It's a
Hmm.
conversational AI agent for healthcares because they lose a lot of money when people text them and they don't respond back. Maybe that person, that lead goes to another center, let's say for a dermatologist, and they reply too slow. And it's an agent that takes into account not replacing the doctor, not replacing the secretary, just blending in and acquiring the system.
Yeah.
And that's my plan going into the next of the year, and we will be looking forward to replicating this launch
Yeah.
with other AI agents, but we're going to focus one launch at a time.
Cool. Absolutely awesome. And have you been able to? Would you, I kind of know the answer to this. Really, to be fair, I don't think you'd have been able to achieve the level of confidence, discipline, and everything else without the TRW. Like,
Dope, dope. Because the community aspect of it is one of the strongest points for me,
yeah.
because when I look around me in sometimes in your real life, you will not find these like-minded people that maybe are in a difficult situation the same as you are. Maybe they want to become something of
Mm,
themselves. They don't want to be part of the system and
yeah.
being enslaved forever. There's having those other men and women that want to fight and want to become something of themselves.
Yeah.
We're gonna be a I'm convinced that we're as a community, university.com and TRW, we're gonna be a real problem, but a good problem,
Yeah.
because we are going
Yeah.
to be in charge of governments and the students in 10 to 15 years from now, because I know we will be here in 10 to 15 years from now. We're going to be a big problem, but a good problem, because there needs to be some kind of justice or payback, because what these governments and what these people are doing to the people, it's
Mm.
crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. You take everything. You take everything that the media tell you, turn it on its head, and that's the truth. So it's one of those. Okay, cool. So you heard about the 2.0, TRW
Yes.
2.0. Tell me about
I'm
that. Tell me what's
I'm
your
looking forward a lot for the
yeah,
2.0. I'm actually very excited because I have been increasing my power level. I am
yeah.
very excited that now you can send, receive. also money, which is actually a pretty crazy upgrade. And if you're not here, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret not being here. It was like, oh, why I didn't take action, what I couldn't have, and blah 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 blah. Well,
Cool.
if you don't want to live as a main character, you're gonna have to live in the shadows of the people that do. So
I like that. I super like that. I super like that as well. So your plan next 6 months is to obviously your website to
my
launch.
yeah, looking
Yeah,
to land more AI clients and growing my list. I am actually we're selling the service for a base price of $715, 750, just because we want to grow our client list, because we
yeah,
want to take as much clients as we can, and we already have the upsells that we're gonna make. We have in mind, we're gonna upsell voice agents, because right now that's only text. I could have made it voice agents, but I just didn't want to come out with a lot of features. I just
yeah.
solved one problem, and that's my main focus point, because I know very well their pain points. And right now have gotten my sales skills have got better are getting better by the day. I have like four meetings today, and I'm going straight for the neck. I don't waste time
Straight to the
finding
jugular.
pain
No
points, and I
messing
put my
about.
finger
Yeah,
in it.
yeah, no messing about. No, I like that. I like that. I like your energy. I like your energy, and I know you're going to do well. One last question. What would you say to someone? I don't know if your friends have joined or whether like you have like cousins, family, or anything else that have joined the real world, but you might be the only one. But what would you say to someone that thinks this is just a little bit of a lip service, there's a little bit of a fast, that think it's fake and it's not real?
I would say to them, you believe it's fake because you don't believe. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to believe in the community, because what all these gurus and all this stuff, what Tate says, you can see the way he speaks, he means every word of it.
Yeah,
And I know he would rather die than not be an honorable person. So that's
correct.
the type of people I want to be around with. The real world is the place to be, because it's the place where you will find your brothers, and you will find those like-minded people that are ready to die, because if you're ready to kill, you have to be ready to die.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Do you know what? I've taken up so much of your time and it's been an absolute pleasure
You too,
talking to
man. I've taken a lot of your time. Thank you very
you. No,
much
no, no,
for this.
don't worry about my time's cool. All I want to know, all I want to see is that when I speak to you next, that you've leveled up. All of those 6 clients attended to 12 clients, attended to 15 clients, and you wanted to take your industry outside of where you are at the moment to America and to everything else. I can actually envisage that because it's such a good aspect for you to, it's such a good kind of area for you to be in. It's kind of like a little bit of a niche that someone's come out of a position to actually make content and make our content, and someone that you can speak to as a doctor that has necessarily not necessarily, it might be opposing views to what they say, because like you said, oh well, you need this and this, and they didn't have it there. So you have kind of like slightly opposing views ever so slightly, but the controversy kind of is actually good because it
Yeah,
creates
yeah,
people looking into things to make sure that things are right. Do you know what I mean? Controversy is
yeah,
always good. Okay, cool. He says this, that person that says this. Okay, cool. I'm going to look into both, see who's true, see what's right, see what's not right. And then when they see that you're actually right and coming forward from the background that you've had to now, then that should in turn just kind of just give you that elevation that you're gonna get 100%.
thank
100%.
you,
Been
thank you,
absolutely
thank
awesome
you.
talking to you, bro. And
I
when I speak
look
to you next,
forward to seeing you in Emiratos and Dubai in a couple of years. All right.
yeah, well, I'm here. I'm here now at the moment. I'm just sitting here, just chilling, just doing some work. But
All right,
yeah. So when I speak to you next, I can't wait to hear how far you've come from in
all
there
right.
from probably next year. But I can't wait to hear how far you've got to. So
I've
yeah,
always known that it's gonna happen sooner or later. When I started this journey, I was convinced that sooner or later I am going to meet you guys. I'm going to meet Tate, and I know if I keep elevating myself and keep going to the highest echelons of society, we're gonna
Yeah.
meet eventually. We're gonna meet eventually. It's no doubt
That's
about it.
the way, and that's the way to think about it. That is the way to think about it. You think about yourself first, and how you need to elevate yourself first, and how you need to look at your own businesses. Don't like Tate's like your mentor. Andrew's like your mentor. Do you know what I mean? And you look at him, and you look at where he's got to, and you look at where he's come from to where, like, because he started with nothing, and he's got to here. So if he can do that, that anybody can do it. We've all done it. So at the end of the day, you think about yourself first, you think about your business first, and you think about how you can elevate your business first, and move in those kind of steps, and you move in those kind of steps, you will get there. 100% you'll get there.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
it's all good. But yeah, pleasure talking to you. Sorry to take you so much time. I'm sorry to making you wait. But
Don't worry. Don't worry. All good.
it's been an
All
absolute
good,
awesome
brother.
conversation. Thank you very
So
much.
just one last thing for everybody. Remember, guys, nobody's coming to save you. You need to save yourself, and you
Oh,
need to save
100%.
the people you love.
100%. We know this. 100%. 100%. I'm glad you said that as well. Thank you very much, bro.
Bye bye.
Take care.